Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host Derek Stevenson, and we're doing a little post-game recap. Kentucky versus Illinois State. Kentucky, ran away with the game at the end, pulled it out, got the victory, 96-70. But I definitely had some concerns while I was watching the game, and before I get into that, the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about some of the things that I did. Like, obviously, this was this game was scheduled for Antonio Reeves, and with him being a fifth-year senior, he got to, do a little favor for his school, if you will. Like we owed them one. We took their best player and put a little money in their pocket, let them, get a nationally televised game. And he played well, man. 27 points. He hit 4 threes. Actually, he rebounded pretty good. And we're going to talk about the rebounding in a second because that's one of the things that concern me. But Antonio Reeves, usually one of my things about Reeves is usually I feel like I need Reeves to do a little bit more besides just score. So I was definitely excited, definitely happy to see him crashing the boards a little bit. Trey Mitchell was doing the most work on the boards. He had 11 to go along with his 8 points. But we that's one of the things we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to pitch in really heavy as a team. Because at the end of the day, when we get into SEC play, it's going to take a collective effort. Everybody's going to have to be crashing the boards, man. Justin Edwards put in his 4 rebounds. Reed Sheppard added his 5. Reed Sheppard pretty much, he consistently crashes the glass. And I know Adu Thero didn't play tonight, but Adu usually gives us some good energy with the glass. But we're gonna need all these guys pitching in because as much as I love that we got our 2 of our 7-footers back, they don't really dominate the paint as much as I would like for them to do. They don't block as many shots as I thought they were going to block. They don't rebound as well as I thought they were going to rebound, and I think it's just because, like I said, just not physically developed enough. Aaron Bradshaw is going to be solid in the future, but right now I think it's going to be difficult for him when SEC play, when we get into SEC play, just because, he's going to be playing against older teams with guys like Trey Mitchell and Antonio Reeves, just fifth-year seniors, and they're going to be ready to go. And Bradshaw, even though he's had some decent games, he still gets moved around under the basket a little bit too much for my liking. And collectively, we just don't block enough shots. We got to get some kind of rim protection. And I'm not saying you got to be like Anthony Davis or, Nerlens Noel, but we at least need we need a little Isaiah Jackson. We need somebody that, or even collectively between Bradshaw and Onyenso, we need about 4 to 5 block shots a game. And I would feel a lot more comfortable because I feel like defensively this team kind of regressed a little bit. I feel like they was better defensively in the beginning of the season, and now I feel like they kind of went backwards. They score a lot of points. That's one thing that we ain't gonna have to worry about with this team is they definitely gonna score the basketball. That's one thing that they're gonna do. They probably gonna average, even in the SEC play, they probably gonna still average about 80 something, and they're gonna have opportunities like tonight where they might touch 100. Or they gonna look like they can. They capable of putting together 2 50-point halves, but I'm just worried defensively. Are we gonna be able to stop people if we get into a close game and maybe our shots aren't falling? Are we going to be able to string together a series of quality defensive possessions that could potentially win the game, or are we going to blow it? Because I feel like a lot of the times when I'm watching some of these guys just getting to the basket a little too easy for my taste, and then when they get to the basket, it's just not a lot of resistance. That's what I was hoping for when we started getting some of our bigger, our big men back. I thought it was just going to be a whole lot of resistance around the rim, and I get it. Like, they still don't really have that much game time under their belt. Ian was just getting back to the swing of things. Bradshaw only has a few games under his belt, so I do get it. Like, maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh on him too quickly, but we about to get into the meat of the season, so even though it may be unfair for me to judge him as harshly as I am, I need him to start blocking some shots. I need him to start cleaning the glass a little bit better, because Reed Shepherd, shouldn't be one of our best rebounders. His rebounding, him giving us 4 or 5 rebounds a game, should just be icing on the cake. Maybe Justin Edwards, because technically he plays small forward. But we can't have one big man like Trey Mitchell getting, having a nice rebounding game and then just rely on guards after that. Anyenzo with 2 rebounds. I know he only played 10 minutes, but I just need him to get his hands on a few more balls, man. Even in 10 minutes, I need you to get like 4 for me. Let me see how many did actually. Bradshaw, 1 rebound. See, that's just kind of unacceptable going into SEC play, man. Bradshaw is just, he played 15 minutes, which some nights he gonna play more. Just depends on, tonight Trey Mitchell was playing so well that Calipari really couldn't go away from him. But just with you being as tall as you are, man, you just got to get more than 1 rebound. And he only ended up with 2 points. So he had that first game where he really just super ineffective. But like I said, it might be a little unfair to him, but he gonna have to get working, because Kentucky definitely I still believe they have the potential to win the championship, but defensively they just gotta lock in. They gotta get more focused. Because you're gonna have some games where you just, as good as Kentucky shoots the 3, as good as they are in transition, it's going to be some nights where it's just not going to fall. It happens to everybody. So when you having one of those nights, you've got to be able to rely on defense, rebounding, and it just can't all come from the guards, man. But, we're going to hopefully, they're going to watch the game film. They're going to work on it. But back to some positive stuff, man. DJ played pretty good tonight. I actually like DJ better off of the ball. For some reason, I feel like DJ eventually, like when he goes to the NBA, he will have to learn how to play point guard. But I feel like right now he's just kind of like a combo guard, but I like him more when he's scoring more and not really trying to run the offense. I like the ball in Rob and Reed's hands a little more, facilitating the offense, and I like DJ playing off the ball, catching and shooting, because I think eventually he could become a okay spot up shooter. He's not going to be Reed Shepherd. He's not going to be Dillingham. He's definitely not going to be Antonio Reeves. But I feel like when he plays off the ball, he does seem to score a little bit better. He gets involved a little bit more. But we definitely going to need DJ to contribute, and we're going to need the 14 points. We're going to need that about every night, and I think he is capable of doing that. Yeah, man, I just Antonio Reeves, like I said, man, he was on fire tonight, but I really was mostly impressed with him rebounding and stuff like that, because like I said, I feel like a lot of times Antonio just be out there and he just got one track mind, just score, 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 and he can catch fire. He's an amazing shooter. So when he gets hot, man, he's definitely 27 points. Ain't we've seen him go for big numbers, so that's not shocking. But I'm really impressed with his rebounding and stuff like that tonight. Talk about my boy Reed, man. He had a nice little, overall game like he always does. Was disruptive on defense. Reed works hard. Reed works so hard that he always seems to find a way to fit himself into the game. He's just one of those guys that, like, when he's out there on the court, you don't necessarily have to be running some plays for him. Even though I do like that they seem to have that little like high pick and roll or whatever they do with him, and he comes around the pick and he pulls up for the little mid range jumper. I do like when they run that for him because it just seems like that's just like an easy way to get him a couple buckets each night. But you don't have to run plays for him, and he just gonna find his way into the game. Whether he gonna have to, get some hustle rebounds, or he gonna shoot in some passing lanes, or strip somebody off some help defense. But Reed just always seems to be focused, and he gonna find his way in the game. So I definitely love, like I said, he had a nice overall game: 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Hit 2 threes. So, I was really impressed with him as usual. And the same with Rob. Like, Rob just he gonna get you some buckets, man. That's one thing about Rob. He gonna make stuff happen on offense. I think Rob will go to the next level once he gets his defensive package all the way up, man. Once he's able to be as effective or somewhat as effective on defense as he is on offense, I think he'll be ready to go to the next level. Because offensively, man, he just he's just gonna score from all levels of the court. He gonna get you some points in transition, and he gonna knock down a 3 or 2. He can get to the lane, he can get fouled. So he's just gonna hit you with a whole, he gonna give you his whole bag every single night offensively. But when he becomes a solid defender, that's gonna really help the team out. But 16-7, what more can you ask for from him? Jordan Burks was he didn't really have the numbers, but he give you some energy. I like what Jordan does when he gets in there. He always gonna hustle. He ain't gonna always get the opportunity like some of the others, but he gonna play hard whenever he does, and he ended up giving us a little 5 points. But I think if he continues to work on his game and try to improve and stay positive, and if he stays committed to Kentucky, because you never know now with the transfer portal, he could be here today, gone tomorrow. But if he stays committed, eventually, maybe in a year or two, I could see him being a nice contributor. But it just probably ain't going to be on this year's team. Justin Edwards played a little bit better. I think Justin is in that weird position where I kind of feel like he's in the same role as like Chris Livingston was last year, where he ain't really getting the ball in his hands as much as he probably has been used to in his whole entire career. He kind of gets left out a little bit on offense. But then some of that I do gotta put on him because he gotta find a way to get himself involved like Shepherd does. But I feel like he's finding his way a little bit. He kind of had that same slow start like Livingston did. And, Livingston kind of started to figure it out a little bit later in last year. So hopefully, Justin is going to turn the corner. I know there's one particular play, just made a sloppy pass, and I think he knew it immediately. Calipari, he probably seen it out the corner of his eyes. Calipari went right to the bench and was like, get him out of there. And that's just one of those things where it's like freshmen, you just want to see them get more locked in because these are the type of mistakes and turnovers that at this time of the season is getting crucial. Like, we got to start minimizing some of those because that'll get you beat, and it could happen to you at the worst time in the NCAA tournament. So he just got to be more focused. You can't take things for granted. You can't take plays off. You got to make sure, when you seeing the passing lanes and stuff like that, you might have to take an extra second and make sure it's clear before you just lob the ball up all nonchalantly and get it deflected and different things like that. So I just want to see Justin stay positive and, get a little bit more mentally focused. Cause still, man, I just still believe this team could just make this team could get on fire, and if they turn up defensively, they could be the best team in the country. They offensively, they on point. They got everything you need offensively. They got shooters, they got penetrators, they got decent size, they got slashers. So they offensively they set. They just gotta be committed to defense. They gotta feel. That's one of the things. If you remember our championship team with Anthony Davis and Terrence Jones and Lamb and all them boys, Teague and everybody, Gilchrist, they was locked in defensively. They played extremely hard defensively. They was chasing people down. They was blocking shots. They was bulls around the basket. They loved playing defense. And it wasn't just Anthony Davis blocking shots. Jones was blocking shots. Gilchrist was blocking shots. And then, Teague and Lamb was staying in front of their man. Darius Miller. Like, you just got guys that was just committed to playing good defense, just getting after it. And if this team ends up, developing that mentality, I'm not saying they could be as good as them because, they only lost 2 games and they was just washing everybody. But they have more depth than that team did, I think. So they could be. They just got to turn it up defensively. If they get to the point where they can make it hard for teams to score on them, the offense will take care of itself because it'll just lead to more transition buckets. And we know Kentucky can get out and run. If Kentucky gets out and run, they got people that can attack the basket and they got people that can spot up and shoot. So if they lock in on defense, it'll just make it that much easier for them to score on offense. It'll just take this team to a whole nother level. So, yeah, man, I just impressive win. They did what they were supposed to do. Shout out to Illinois State, Antonio Reeves' old team. I think that's where he enrolled in school again this past summer whenever all of that confusion was going on when he wasn't sure if he was even coming back to Kentucky. So shouts out to them. They gave Kentucky a nice little test, a nice little tune-up game to warm them up before they get into the SEC. Two big lineup was getting cooked the first 12 minutes. They really were, though. They really were. They was getting drilled. I think, honestly, Kentucky just they just have enough depth to wear people down, and some of them teams just can't maintain. But I totally agree with you. It will not work against good teams. It's just like when I'm watching them, I'm just looking at Bradshaw. He's just getting moved around way too easy. And I'm just thinking, like, when we play some of these teams in the SEC, they got 2 real bigs. It could get ugly. I can't wait to see them play true road games in the SEC. Me either. That's going to be the test, is what they can do on the road. I feel like, they always, it's always going to be hard when we play in Tennessee on the road, Vandy on the road. So yeah, that's what's going to really show me, because, on the road, they're not going to score as much. They're not going to get as many calls. So they're going to really have to turn up. So that's when we're going to see what they're really made of. The best lineup is 4 freshmen and Trey. The small ball has been working. They looked a whole lot better. Uh, and I do like when they run the offense through Trey, because I just feel safe that Trey is going to make good decisions based on his experience. Trey don't never really seem to get out of character too much. He don't never really seem to overdo it. He kind of just plays the game with like, I mean, you can tell he's a 23-year-old senior that's been there and done that. He don't really seem to get rattled. So I like when they run the ball through him, because it just seems like he just kind of, and I give credit to some of them. Like I said, Reed Shepherd, he definitely looks like a veteran out there at some points as well. He plays very intelligently, but I do feel the most comfortable when they kind of running things through Trey. He just seems more sure of what he's doing and doesn't take as many risks and different things like that. Hope you had a happy holidays. Man, listen, I did have a happy holiday, but I was sick. I think I started getting sick around Thursday, and I was probably sick until Monday morning, maybe Monday afternoon. So it was definitely a happy holiday. I got to see majority of my family. Got to open some presents with some people, eat some good food. So overall, I had a happy holiday, but I feel much better now. I didn't even end up streaming during the Louisville game. I was kind of worn out after we beat Louisville. Coach Ty, if he's still in here, he was on me about that one too. He said I definitely dropped the ball on that, not streaming after that game. That's our biggest game. We was turned up, so I apologize to y'all, but I was out of it. So, but yeah, I definitely feel a little bit better. Slow bigs equals open 3 balls. Yeah. I think Onyenso, I still believe that Onyenso could eventually become an elite defender. But right now, I don't think he moves around. I don't think he kind of has that instinct that some of our better shot blockers over the years have had. Like, they could, especially when they were help defenders, they could kind of just watch their man but feel what was getting ready to happen, and then just be over there in a split second to get some help defense blocks. Isaiah Jackson, like I said, Noel, Stein, Davis, like they just kind of had better instincts, when they weren't the primary defender. I think Onyenso defends his man well when his man is in the post, but I would like to see him move a little bit better, feel his way around the paint a little bit better, and kind of develop some anticipation for, where the ball is going to end up, so he can get us a couple more blocks. So we definitely, game's too fast for them. Yeah, I feel like right now it is. And like I said, they don't have a whole lot of reps under their belt right now, so I don't know if I'm being too hard or not, but it's about to get serious real quick. It's no more time to play. The season is, just it's time to get busy. So they just got to figure it out. And I have no idea what's going to happen with Big Z. At this point, I'm pretty much, I feel like Big Z is not going to play for Kentucky. So I'm just kind of over that right now. Still love him. I still feel like he's a Wildcat, but I don't feel like I'm going to see him play, though. And I feel bad because I feel like he wants to play. I don't think he was, pulling a, I ain't going to say his name. I know his name upsets people, but I don't think he was pulling one of them moves. I think he really wanted to, be on the squad and contribute. And, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work out. When we play SEC games, the dog in DJ is going to come out. I feel like it will. I feel like I feel like DJ is a competitor, man. And one thing about DJ that I do love is even when he may not be shooting the ball well, DJ does always compete. I can never take that away from him. He plays hard. I don't think he's gonna be scared. I think he's gonna be ready to go. But like I was saying earlier, I like him when he plays off the ball a little bit better, where he can just be like in attack mode to score and slash. He made some nice plays. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely I think he's gonna be up for the task. I think he's just built like that. I hope Edwards is too. I hope Edwards turns up a little bit with the with the competition level about to step up. Cause I feel like Coach Ty said he got some news on Big Z for me. Yeah, man. I need to hear what you talking about. Cause I'm out of it with that. I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, I think if we get DJ and Edwards going consistently, where we can get them in double digits, 12 to 14 apiece, I think that'll help a lot. But like I said, I just want to see some of the other guys, especially our big man, just get after it on that glass. Cause I feel like the defense, man, if we can just, I think they said in the broadcast, Kentucky was I think they was like top 4 or top 5 in scoring, top 5 in 3 points, but defense they was like 230th or something like that. So yeah, that's definitely where they need to work. Rebounding and defense. Reeves and Robs gotta defend better. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's the one thing that Rob needs to do to take his game to the next level. Because I think as good as Rob is offensively now, I think in a few years he's gonna be even better. Because I think he'll become a better shooter than he is now. And I think he's a decent shooter now, but I think eventually he'll become a nice shooter. And then when he gets a little stronger, he's going to be even more tough to deal with offensively. But he got to get his defense together. Because once you go to that next level, if you can't play defense, it's going to be hard for you because everybody in the NBA can score. So you got to at least be able to make your man work for it. So hopefully, he'll start turning up on defense, putting a little more effort into it. You getting on that Call of Duty tonight? Go Big Blue. Yeah, of course. I'll be on there. Just had to speak with the fam for a few minutes. Had to check in with everybody since I didn't get to after the Louisville game. Like I said, I was feeling kind of bad. Got a little sick for the holidays. Still had a great holiday, but just was not feeling the greatest. But I'm pretty much back to 100% now, so everything's good. But yeah, guys, like I said, solid win, solid tune-up game. Shout out to Illinois State. That's one of the things that I do like about Coach Calipari. Sometimes, sometimes we be a little hard on Cal, but overall, I think Cal's a really good dude. And when I see him doing stuff like this for Antonio Reeves, old school, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, that makes me like him a little bit more as a person, man. Just, put a little money in Illinois State's pocket since we pretty much, took their best player that they probably ever had at the school. So what's my gamer tag? Mr. Ryder 10. Let me see if I can put it in the actual chat. But yeah, guys, nice tune-up game. Pretty much covered it all. Thank you guys for tuning in with me after the game, and we'll get back at it next time, man. Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson. Y'all have a great night, and if I don't talk to y'all before, Happy New Year. I hope y'all had a Merry Christmas. And we'll get back at it. See y'all later.